Hello everyone. It's Wednesday, and so here we are back again streaming. Now, normally we do this in the evening, but I have plans this evening, and so that's not going to be an option. However, I always like to set aside a few hours to knock out any recap that I'm doing, because to me the pace that I always work best with is just simply doing a little bit every given day, or in this case, doing a little bit whenever I can. So, whereas I would normally just be recapping this in the middle of the day, instead of at night when I have stuff to do, hey, why not live stream it, right? I saw that one or two people came to me and said they were confused by the term live recap. They thought I was actually reading off a recap live. And to me, I think that's just a strange interpretation, because if you look at the running time, you can see that each one of these episodes is a few hours. So that can't be right. And also, the very first line of the description says this is a recap in the making. So this isn't a recap, like a traditional recapitation episode. This is just me producing one, and you're seeing what it looks like for the creative process. I just think it was interesting that every now and then you get somebody who kind of doesn't catch that for whatever reason. But I'm not worried about that. Anyway, continuing on. We were about to, I think, approach the capital of Taznica. We just got like 3 spirits last time. I didn't bother leveling up most of them. If we're getting this many towards the end of the game, they're probably pretty good as is. Oh, that's Gemma. Hello, Jesse. How are you today? Happy Wednesday. Gallagher, playing Wonderful 101. I never played the Wonderful 101. Are you playing the original release, or didn't they just re-release that? Wonderful 101? Didn't Platinum say they were re-releasing that? Hyro, how are you today? Nice flex. Afan, Umbra, hello, how are you today? Afan, we're playing this on the Switch collection, the collection of mana. So this is the Switch port, which has nice, crisp, anti-aliased HD sprites. And if you're not familiar, like I said, live recap doesn't mean we're recapping this live. What this is I'm collecting the video for it, and I'm obviously writing the skeleton of a script that will eventually become a normal recapitation episode. Since I know we're most of the way through this game, we'll probably finish this up and this will release later this month. At the end of the month, the final week, I'm going on vacation. I'll be going out of state, so I'm not going to be streaming that week. I'm not going to be releasing anything. I might schedule something to be released that week in my absence, but we'll see what happens. Got a couple weeks for that. Okay, can you have other players join you? I don't believe this supports online multiplayer. Jax, how are you? Good afternoon. So if you're expecting this to be a high-powered playthrough of Secret of Mana, that is not the case. If you're expecting this to be a replay of something I'm familiar with, that is not the case. This is the first time I'm playing this game. I've never played the Secret of Mana before. And, because I'm typing, you will be noticing a lot of that today, so don't be surprised if there are long bouts of me not talking and just typing. That's how a recap goes. This will only be for about 3 hours. I like to pace myself that way. I think it's hilarious that there are Because I want to watch the Nintendo indie case that just showed earlier today. It showed like 20 games or something, and everybody was super surprised to see Konami as part of that. So Konami's an indie game studio now? I mean, I think that's kind of okay to rebrand themselves. They haven't really been in major production for a couple of years. If they want to just condense and just make a small studio that makes smaller titles, I don't see why people want to hold it against them. That's sarcasm. I know why people want to hold it against them. It's because Konami still owns a lot of very high-end IPs that they're not pretty much going to do anything with. But if Konami just wants to make small games and small titles and people want to hustle them for it, I think the people are wrong in this case. Konami wants to define itself. They own the properties. They can do whatever they want. If they want to not make another property for it, they don't want to make another property for it. You may not like that decision. That may not be what you think is best for quote-unquote the franchise, but you also don't own that IP. So, if Konami just wants to make small indie titles, they make small indie titles. People need to stop feeling that they're entitled to other people's way they conduct business. Oh, they should sell it to Capcom, they should sell it to PlayStation, they should sell it to Nintendo. Yes, you're right, because they want to consult you, rando internet opinion, on how to handle their IPs. Do I necessarily believe all that myself? Nah, I would actually like for them to sell their IPs to someone like Capcom or Nintendo. However, there is way too much echo chamber for people trying to rail on stuff. And I feel that's, you know, I would rather stand as the voice of reason on the opposite side, pointing out, hey, you know, wishes and dreams and all that, candy and creams. Hey Lobster Boy, how are you today? Thanks for joining chat. There's also lots of videos coming out talking about what I've been talking about for the last 5 years, which is the redirection, remanagement, and restructuring of PlayStation. Not necessarily Sony, because Sony's the bigger company. PlayStation is the division people are talking about. It's always funny to me when people talk about PlayStation and say it's Sony. Sony isn't necessarily in charge of all the decisions PlayStation makes. PlayStation is its own division. That's like calling Xbox Microsoft. Xbox is such a tiny portion of the Microsoft empire. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. All I know is that I've been saying that stuff for the last 5-6 years, actually longer than that, since the Vita launched in 2011 or 12? No. For a while. Either way. I'm absolutely one of those that loves to say I told you so. Especially when I told people so. Are we supposed to read out the spy now? That might be a little bit difficult for outsiders like us. What is that supposed to be a symbol of? Celestial Shards, good afternoon. Hello. Lobster Boy, have you played Monster Hunter Rise yet? I have not. I have not put 1 minute into Monster Hunter Rise yet because I told myself I'm going to be a good boy and I'm going to put out an episode or two of recap before I get started on Monster Hunter. Because the moment I get started on Monster Hunter, I know myself. I'm going to be playing it so often, it's going to kill my productivity. I have very poor self-control when it comes to things like that. Because I feel like I play it for a week straight before I finally get my fix and I can start metering myself. Which is why, for most of my vacation that I'm taking at the end of this month, I'm going to be playing Monster Hunter Rise. I'm going to do all my work beforehand, and then I'm just going to spend most of my weekend, or not my week, playing Monster Hunter Rise, playing some stuff with other friends, going out and watching Mortal Kombat, watching the Demon Slayer movie, you know, hanging out with friends, all that sort of stuff. That's going to be my vacation. You must be spies. Wow, way to jump to conclusions. I'm pretty sure the king's a spy. Hiding in plain sight. The good news is that all you people playing Monster Hunter Rise, cool, now you guys can carry me through low-level content. I'll be relying on you. Jinx, hope you're enjoying the game with all its weird technical glitches. There are a lot of technical glitches in this game. I'm just being a little bit forgiving because I understand it was 1993 and it's kind of experimental for its time. But at the same time, there's a lot of jank in this game. Hello Hydra, how are you today? Dark River, good to see you again. But hey, not as much jank as apparently, what is that, Outriders? Outriders, man, apparently it's had a very bad launch. It's funny, I played a little bit of the demo, wasn't impressed, didn't think I was gonna get the game. I didn't even have to, I have Xbox Game Pass, I could just play it right now at no extra cost. But I just was like, I'm just gonna wait a little bit, I have other stuff to do and I'd rather play Monster Hunter. And I'm kinda glad I didn't waste my time, because apparently it's having a slew of issues. Not just from the gameplay, but just the actual technical stability of it. By the way, my prediction right now, go ahead and write it down. A lot of people are talking about The Last of Us remaster. Like, what could they possibly remaster? I could think of a lot of things. That game is not 10 out of 10 for me. That game has a lot of storytelling potential fixes. People just remember the emotions and the character and the acting for it, but there was a lot of other things that game could have done better. That being said, here's where I think it's gonna go. They're going to put out the TV series. The TV series is not going to be a one-to-one of the game because people think they want one-to-one when it comes to adaptations of video games. They don't. Because they think they want what they really want to say is they want the predictability. They want the self-satisfaction of knowing the scenes that they want to see realized in a different medium format. That's what they actually want. They don't want all of it one-to-one. There are a couple things they want to see. The problem is that in a cinematic game that was already basically a TV show because it was filmed as a TV show, made into a video game format, they simply want the reverse to happen, even though they already got that. To get rid of that, to make it still interesting, it's smarter, even though you're going to anger some people. You will gain more acclaim and you're going to gain more buzz if you don't do a one-to-one. You change things in a fundamental way that keeps things thematically going in the same direction, but not the exact same way. So that way, anybody who's going to dismiss the show by saying, I already know what happens, I don't need to watch it, now they're going to be pulled in by saying, oh, okay, it's not what I thought it was going to be, it's something different, but in the same universe, I will now watch this. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be something different. And the remake game is going to be based on that show. That's what's going to happen. That's my prediction. Lock it in. Do I care about The Last of Us? Hell no. Do I love watching the community around it? Absolutely. It is the most entertaining community to watch, to people watch from the outside. It is so entertaining to watch, and they are never for a lack of entertainment to me. The people that obsess one way or the other in that community are so much more entertaining than the game ever was, and much more impactful. Virgil, how are you today? Am I catching a stream of you working on one? Yes, I am working on the Secret of Mana recap. When we're done, I'll have all the footage, I'll have the rough draft of a script, and I'll make an episode as normal. The cool thing is that you guys got to see the creative process, and along the way, all the little mini rants, commentary on current events, and just dialogue between me and you. You get all that along the way. Value, maybe. I like how the king just immediately gave up. He was just, it's like, you are the imposter. And Randy's like, and Gemma is like, no, you. And the king's like, you got me. It's like, okay, well, that was uneventful. He's not gonna attack us. They just blinked out. Boss music. So we're fighting the Black Ninja. Oh, that's actually a cool little teleport move. Oh, he only has like 500 hit points. We can just beat him up. Yeah, there we go. Do we talk to the king? So is he like possessing the king, or was he just replacing the king? Eh. He's a base enemy later? He seemed like a base enemy now. I'm pretty sure we've had base enemies have about that same health. He was just a stronger version of the red ninjas we were fighting already. And I think green ninjas. Yay, Soul Orb. Nice. You still have to learn what true courage is. Oh my gosh. Whenever anybody says you have to learn what true courage is, you're gonna do one of three different things. You're gonna send me on a quest to either gain and like find some MacGuffin that just by finding it and returning it back to you, you're gonna say, by picking up the cup of courage, you have discovered what courage is. Courage is like a cup. Like a cup, it can hold things, like courage. It's like a cup. It also is a circle, never ending, like courage. Other symbolism talk, blah blah blah. Or you're gonna have a special fight, either against maybe Gemma himself or somebody, or you're gonna fight yourself, and it's supposed to be symbolism there. Or there's gonna be a quiz of questions. And they'll be like, you don't know what true courage is. We have this multiple choice quiz that you're gonna take on this Scantron, and we're gonna find out what your courage IQ is. Man. The thing is, RPGs are still written like this too. Where it's like the test of courage. It's find a MacGuffin, fight a gimmicky boss, or take a quiz. It's one of those three. The real courage is the friends we made along the way. Sage Shock will teach us true courage. I wonder if Sage Jock is in another castle right now. Aren't quizzes reserved for tests of wisdom? Sometimes. Sometimes tests of wisdoms are a quiz, or they're a gimmicky minigame. I find that the case. They'll ask you like a riddle. They like to do riddles. You don't see tests of wisdom too often in video games, though. I just hope the test of courage doesn't kill a bunch of stuff. That's like the laziest test of courage. It's like your test of courage is to beat this boss rush. It's like, oh my god, this is lazy. Alright. Back to the... Let me pull up a map, because I can't remember where the thing was. Oh, that's right. Mountains. We have gone up these stairs, I think, 4 times already. Have a good one, Dark River. Thanks for hanging out. I know the timing's a bit unusual today, but I appreciate you dropping in all the same. Power mana. Is power mana a real thing? By the way, tomorrow is the Resident Evil Showcase. I'm excited for that. I don't need anybody to tell me about, you know, reasons to buy Resident Evil 8. I'm already locked in. I'm getting the collector's edition that has the cool Chris statue. Humble brag. But, I'm more interested in talking about their other projects. Because, like, okay, let's see what else you have in the pipeline. I know they're probably going to talk about Reverse and have a beta and try to tell us why it's not a weird gimmicky game mode. I just hope that it's not bundled in with 8. It is its own separate thing. They just keep trying the multiplayer thing with Resident Evil, and they just don't want to make Outbreak. It's like, just make Outbreak. Just make Outbreak File 3. Don't remake Outbreak. Make brand new scenarios. Make new scenarios for the new remake series. Scenarios that would work well. So that way we could actually be exploring Raccoon City in a way that neither 2 nor 3 chose to. Which is exactly what Outbreak File 3, or Files 1 and 2 already did. They introduced enemies, scenarios, environments, sort of mini dungeons. Just do that. That's all you gotta do. You keep dancing around. It's like people want to take the heroes and the faces of Resident Evil and shoot each other in the face with it. I'm like, that's not what people necessarily want to do. Alright, don't tell me Jock is not here again. Oh. There we go. I'm his disciple. Not disciple, his disciple. I'm his disciple. He speaks in tongues. Oh, he actually does speak in tongues. Huh. Here we go. Test of courage time. Because even, like, Reverse is trying to do... is dancing around not just Outbreak, but you're dancing around Mercenaries. Like, just bring back Mercenaries again. Mercenaries was okay. I wasn't the biggest fan of Mercenaries, but you had Mercenaries for a lot of different installments. It's almost considered the assumed multiplayer mode, or at least the side mode that people want for not time trials, but something else. So at least, I don't know, bring back Mercenaries. But no, they want to cash in on that multiplayer somehow. A lot of people won't give it a chance. Yeah, Dark River, you're probably right. The beta's going up, though. I think everybody will still watch it. I think a lot of people will watch it. A lot of people will write it off, but I think a lot of people will watch it. Just out of curiosity. Or Capcom can make a full Mercenaries game. They already did that once. They did it on the 3DS. They made Mercenaries just a standalone title. But I know what you mean. Alright, before we start this test of courage, let me quickly save in case it's something crazy. I'll be honest, if it's just a straight PvP mode, I'm not interested in that. The asymmetrical multiplayer of Resistance, I think, was actually a cool idea. I think it was just small in scope. Kind of like how RE3 would make kind of a small scope. Ooh, excuse me. I stayed up too late last night. But yeah, give Reverse a chance to, honestly. There's no reason not to. I wonder if the Sage is actually the final elemental spirit. And passing his test we gave him, or something. Oh wait, I'm stupid. I forgot to upgrade my sword. AWOL, you're getting no sound. Is it true there's no sound? It's showing up as sound on my end. We need to buy stuff. Because if we're going into a boss mode, we're definitely going to need some more walnuts. Okay, everyone's sounding audio checks good. Thank you. Alright. People just want the same old? A lot of people do. There's comfort and familiarity. And to be honest, sometimes more familiar, especially for franchises, does go over well. Man, I have a very vibrant sword. Oh, can Prim's fist now set things on fire? Or is that maybe Popoy's bow? If Prim's fist can put things on fire, then that's legit. Akado only keeps attacking Randy. Randy taking all these snaps. Nice 375 damage. Okay, I think move up and down. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what Reverse comes up to be. We'll see if it's if it's a great idea, or if it's just something like Operation Raccoon City, where it seemed like a good idea on paper, but the execution was actually pretty darn bad. That is the rudest flower. I wonder how many more streams until we're done with this. It seems like we're getting pretty close. We have all but one of the spirits. Okay, now we're ready to take a test of courage. Oh, you're gonna be like that. I wonder what the effects of wall are. If it's a time thing or how many hits it takes. Because every now and then it takes damage. Repel the magic. Wow, this thing punches. Good lord. 150 damage alone on that. Oh, we need the axe. Oh my god, it's gonna be one of these things. I want to work on the sword, but I see we're going to need the axe, shapeshifter. So he's actually turning into different monsters? Interesting. Oh, wow. This seems like a very annoying enemy. Oh, I don't think we've seen the spiky version of this guy. Which one is the shapeshifter? Okay, this is getting out of hand. Especially since the damage is going crazy right now. Need healing. One damage to these guys. Good lord, I just healed. We are getting destroyed by one enemy. Oh my god. Oh, run away. Good lord. Will you heal me? You guys aren't gonna heal me, are you? Man, this sucks. That means you have to go all the way back, heal, and then walk all the way back here. Good lord, how tedious. I like how the dead spirits don't enter the bed to sleep, but they recover all the same. It seems that the shapeshifters can turn into pretty much anything, which also looks incredibly inconvenient because that means they can also turn into very high-level enemies that just one-shot me like that, apparently. Because I don't believe we're under-leveled. I really don't. I believe the shapeshifters just turn into very inconvenient enemies. I think what also happened is when it turned into a drop, it turned into 3 enemies. It turned into 3 shape-shifting enemies. And so the enemy literally just tripled itself. Good lord. Unless the shapeshifters can also just triple themselves, just naturally. You could run through that whole spot and skip the enemies if you need to. We might just do that if we can. Because that shapeshifter enemy alone is just not worth it. Especially if you can turn into endgame enemies. That is absolutely not worth it. Alright, we're clearly going to need to use the axe, though. Because we're going to have to bust up stalactites. Or stalagmites, my mistake. Alright, ignore them, ignore them. Stop pushing it, stop pushing it. Get past it. Stop it, get past it. Stop it, stop it, stop it. Come on, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Prim, let's go, thank you. Oh, it's one of these. It's a maze. I hate mazes. Where it's like, we just have a million branches and most of them are dead ends. Alright, so... Which way did we not go? It's one of those times when I wish this game had something like a repel. Or do we make it? Win and you pass the test. Alright, so it's probably going to be a gimmicky fight, isn't it? Oh, we fight shadow versions of ourselves. How did I know this is going to be a gimmicky thing? His name is Shadow X1. Shadow X3. We get some sword XP on this though. Shadow Link strats, just get him in a corner and knife him to death. Interesting that the sprite's default weapon was the boomerang. I'm glad but, you know, like, the sprite's bow is like, it comes at the same time. They said, like, oh, the sprite was found with his bow. But they gave it a boomerang instead. I'm not switching the sprite off the bow, though. Because the bow was 100% better than the boomerang. Well, that was easy. How were they so easy? They did no damage to my entire party. But every enemy on the way here was just demolishing us. How is that possible? Oh. I was expecting to grind on the way back. You guys got to see some amazing gameplay. No damage run on that boss there. When you put your hearts together, nothing can stop you. Starshine, got sent home early from work so you can attend the stream. Thanks for joining in. Oops. Are you doing a no charging weapons challenge, Sam? No, I find charging weapons to be useless in this game. Because the time it takes to charge a weapon, with how many enemies have iframes, dodging, or the hit detection in this game, the time you spent charging a weapon, you could just do normal attacks for the same, if not more damage. The damage scaling on a charging attack is not worth it. It is maybe when you get to, like, I'm sure, like, level 8, because the time it takes you to charge a level 8 attack, you're not going to perform 8 attacks. However, like I said, with how mobile most enemies are, with hit detection, iframes, it's not worth charging. It's like the spells. The spells in this game are very poorly balanced, where higher cost magic does not justify itself versus casting lower cost magic multiple times, because A, you're not pressed for time, except for like the Death Wall battle. That was like the one time you're pressed for time. But if you're not pressed for time, casting a lower level spell multiple times deals significantly more damage than wasting the same amount of MP on a higher level spell. Shorter to cast, more damage. Especially, and that's even before you take into account chain spelling. So if you take into account chain spelling, then you're getting significantly more. You will reach those 999 caps way faster, way cheaper than you would. So to me, it's more inefficient as to charge your weapons, and it's definitely a waste to spend it on higher level magic. Because especially when magic spells have like 2 to 8 MP cost, it's not like the 4 MP or the 8 MP do double or triple damage. They don't. They do maybe like 10, 20, 30% more. It's not worth it. You're better off just casting low-level magic. Or at least so has been my opinion and experience with this game. I don't know, this game's been out for almost 20-something years, almost 30 years, so yeah. I'm sure I'm not the first person to note that. You will master the sword by joining courage, knowledge, and love. Okay. Deathmike has already talked about the sprite's gender of the different versions. That doesn't bother me. In this version, they refer to him as a male, so I'm referring to it as a male. It's funny, I know in Bravely Default 2, they talk about the sprites, or the fairies rather, and Elvis is like, I can't help but notice that there aren't any male fairies. And Adele's like, well, that's because there aren't technically female fairies either. Fairies are spirits that are born from flowers. They're not necessarily traditional male-female roles. Yes, they look feminine in appearance, but at the same time, that's just how they are. They're born from nature. Back in the day, my friends tried to do a no magic challenge. I don't know, in the early half of this game when I didn't have walnuts, and I ended up doing no magic boss runs anyway. There are some bosses, though, I imagine that would be a royal pain in the butt for. Like that snake that kept slapping minimize on you. Ah, he's Jock. I was wondering if, like, what if this guy's just playing with us and Jock is actually the apprentice and Jack is actually the master? You weren't ready yet. Your ears could hear, but not your heart. By killing shadow versions of yourself, your heart is now ready to grow. What? That's why tests of courage in video games are always so superficial. Ugh. The Emperor seeks to raise a sunken land. Atop the coral, you'll find the Tree Palace. Below lies the Mana Fortress. We must be pretty close to the end if we're at the final palace and the Mana Fortress is right there. Is the Tree of Mana the actual top of the Tree Palace, or is the Tree Palace the actual tree, or mana tree? Something evil seeks the seals. Hurry. You're not gonna give me an orb or anything like that? Well, as long as we don't have to come back to this mountain again. I'm not trusting that chest. Alright, so now we're going to... That's probably where that weird, purple stuff in the sea was. It's probably coral. And there was that tower in the middle of it. Yeah, this place. Yeah, it's probably this right there. Oh, you can land on it. Oh, we're just straight up in another dungeon. Oh. The Emperor's just chilling out there. You know, they gave him a name. His name is Emperor Vandal. Or Vandal, but Vandal. I like how both of his lieutenants have the same hair as Randy, which is very floofy, and it covers one eye. I would say it's very 80s hair. This is made in the early 90s. Okay, we're in the end game now. Hey, how's it going, Dave? Sheiks. I owe them one since the Republic. Did we fight Sheiks? I don't remember Sheiks. I remember Geshtar, and then he died. Well, he didn't die. We beat him, and then he burned the place down. Don't mind my squeaky chair. Need to get something real fast. Much better. It is muggy where I am. Hopefully it's not so bad wherever you guys are. You? You're the Dark Stalker? Okay, that explains it. You were a pushover. You also look bigger. Maybe it's the shoulder pads. Behold, have a taste of my true power. Oh wow, that is not what I expected. Man, what am I looking at? The contract we signed with the Underworld gives us control of this world. We got some more now. Alright. To keep humans under my control, we're reviving the Mana Fortress. Okay. Let's check this thing out. Whoa, that is a long name. Aga Gropalon. Aga Gropalon. Aga Gropalon. Ah, shit, he cast wall. No, I can't cast magic. I wonder, will Dispel Magic get rid of that? Did that work? Let's try Fire Bouquet real fast. Okay, it worked. Ah, damn, he immediately casts it. I gotta say, that's a very interesting and alien design. I kinda like it. So here's what we're gonna do. Now that we did that, we're gonna gem missile it real fast and see how much damage that does. Oh, a good amount actually. Just 2 of them should be fine. There we go. I like bosses like that. Bosses that you can't just immediately rush at them with your strongest attack. You have to debuff them first and then use it. Because then I feel like everybody was useful. He did a lot of damage. He did like 200 to 300 damage to a character. Sheiks, I can't believe this, and disappears. The stage is just above us. Let's go. Aaron, when did we learn the secret? I know, right? What is the secret of mana? The secret was inside you all along. Watch them do something like that. The secret was the friends we made along the way. Oh. Oh, that's it? We're already at the Mana Seed? Okay. I was expecting a dungeon. We're not gonna milk it. Oh no. It's too late. Ha, it's literally a tree. Well, okay, I'll do what I can. Is Dry gonna turn into the Tree of Mana? How very rare a cutscene. I'm guessing this is the continent of mana. Gemma, you're not even doing anything about these guys that are right over here? What the hell's wrong with you? Prim's like trying to push this thing against the wall and this thing's trying to fight. Because everybody's locked in this cutscene except for those two. I think it's hilarious that Prim is trying to join the cutscene and Amy's still trying to attack her and they're both just stuck in a corner. Good game logic. So is this the fortress now? Stu, the best song in the game? It is different music, I like it. Thanks for holding that off, Prim. Appreciate you. She's single-handedly standing up those forces. Get whacked. So we can't go there yet, huh? Alright. Since we can't avoid shapeshifters, let's try to kill them where they're in their like weird form before they start multiplying. So they just sometimes take 0 damage, or do they cast a wall on themselves? So you can only crit on them, I think. Actually, don't we have a weapon that's good against slimes? Alright, let's go redeem our spear orb either way. Alright, crits definitely seem to do the job. Alright. Let's leave. Upgrade our stuff. Where's the nearest town? think maybe Pandora to the west. Oh, the music for the overworld changed too. How dramatic. Is Watts not in Pandora? I can't remember where he is from place to place. Emmanuel, hey, how are you? Thanks for joining chat. Apparently we're pretty far into Secret of Mana. We just raised the Mana Fortress. I'm just trying to get stuff upgraded. I'm doing well. I am halfway through post-production of Persona 2 Innocent Sin. So that should be up hopefully later this week. Secret of Mana, we're getting pretty close. So this should be up before the end of the month before I take my vacation. And next on the docket is going to be... I am going to do Persona 2 Eternal Punishment. Not only because that won the subsequent monthly poll, but honestly, Innocent Sin ends on a cliffhanger that you're going to want to immediately jump into Persona 2 Part 2. It's a complete story. I'm gonna go where we know Watts is. But yeah. There's no Watts in Pandora, thank you. Ah, not here. Francisco, your favorite RPG, only because this was your first RPG? Interesting. I always like hearing about people's first RPGs. I do fundamentally believe that, just like anything else, just like when you're a child, your experience with your parents, like, you know, getting some psychology here. I'm not a certified psychologist or anything, or psychiatrist, but I do believe that, yeah, your experiences and influences as a young child shape and mold you who you are for the rest of your life. Can you change? Can you change your mind? Absolutely. But your foundation is going to be built on those experiences. Your foundation for RPGs is going to be whatever your first RPG is. Does that make it the best? Yes and no. Because you've never played an RPG before, it is simultaneously the best and worst RPG you've ever had. And so every RPG from that point in time is going to be based on that as a fundamental starting point. It's all relevant from that point. Is your first one most likely going to be your favorite one? Probably not. You're probably going to encounter games that come across later as, oh, this is actually so good. So whenever somebody says, hey, my favorite thing is this, sometimes you have to question, is your favorite thing your favorite because it was the first thing, or you genuinely believe, based for X, Z, or Y reasons, why it's the best one. Now, my favorite RPG is not my first RPG. The first RPG I played... Let me refix that. The first RPG I finished was the first Final Fantasy I that I played back on the NES in the late 80s. Because I had an NES, and I had Final Fantasy I, and I played it, and beat it, and it was a ton of fun. Is that my favorite Final Fantasy? Hell no. Did I play other RPGs that expanded my experience beyond that point and redefined how I view RPGs? Absolutely. Emmanuel, your first RPG was Earthbound because Smash Brothers. I mean, a lot of people, everyone here in the West found out about both Fire Emblem and Earthbound because of Smash Brothers. Let's be for real. And then when I was like, wow, what's this game that Martha's from? And Nintendo's like, let's put out Fire Emblem. And then they didn't put out Fire Emblem, the one with Martha in it. They put out the one with Roy. Chrono Trigger was your first, Mark? I'm sorry to hear that. I say that because Chrono Trigger is one of my favorite RPGs of all time. And so I think if that's your first RPG, a lot of RPGs are just downhill from there. That's how I feel about Witcher 3. I think Witcher 3 is, in my opinion, the best open world RPG out right now. It does so much right. It does so much that even if you don't like the Witcher universe or like the game itself, it does so much design-wise that a lot of, if you're going to do an open world RPG, that's a playbook you should really try to copy off of. But there are lots of different things. Pokemon, great choice. I love Pokemon. I love the original Pokemon. I liked Pokemon when I remember first learning about Pokemon in an issue of Nintendo Power Magazine when they put an article about the newest craze in Japan called Pocket Monsters. And they were like, Pocket Monsters is all the rage in Japan, but we're not sure if it's going to be a big hit here in America. And oh boy, the rest is history. Because I was like, wow, how cool. 151 possible characters you can put on your team, and you can customize their moves, and they can grow in different ways, and you can trade them to different people. That's amazing. How revolutionary. It kind of was, in a way. It's not the first Monster Collection game, it's not the first trading game, it's not the first in a lot of things, but damn if it didn't do it in a more accessible, shareable, and approachable way than all the other ones did, and that's partly why it got in on the ground floor for so much success. And now it's the biggest IP on the planet. And that's not even me exaggerating, it actually is the biggest successful most RPG IP on the planet. I always tell people are like, why is Pokemon so big? I'm like, let me tell you something. You know how big Marvel is? Yeah, Marvel's huge. Like, yeah, Marvel is huge. I think last time I checked, worth $45 billion, the IP of all Marvel. Pokemon's worth $96 billion by itself. Marvel wishes it made Pokemon money. That's how big Pokemon is. It's crazy. Pokemon was a cultural reset for RPGs. That's a very good way of putting it, Emmanuel. It really was. Pokemon, whether you like it or not, is an A-tier game because it redefined how so many RPGs were perceived. It brought the social and competitive aspect to RPGs that no one was looking at. People don't look at RPGs as a PvP sort of thing. Pokemon brought that. The battle scene and competitive scene of Pokemon persists today at international tournaments. You don't see that for 99.9% of RPGs that are out there. They simply do not have that. Our Pokemon nailed it on the first try. It is crazy. It is lightning in a bottle. And so many games try to just leak a little bit off Pokemon. So many people try to be Pokemon in different ways. And they have success, their own small success, but nobody's been able to do what Pokemon's been able to do. It's amazing how something so fundamentally simple can address a need, create a market, and influence so many other RPGs afterwards. It is crazy. That is what makes Pokemon an A-tier game. Because you have that international influence. Now, do other games do what Pokemon does better? Yeah, including its own franchise. Like, Pokemon 2nd Gen does everything the first game does, but better. However, the first game will still be the most influential one because it broke ground. It broke ground that no one has broke ground to that level of magnitude since. That's what makes it unique. Francisco, enjoy your vacation. Thank you. Jax, your first was Bowser's Inside Story. Interesting. Myson, newbie question. No such thing as a newbie question. It's just a question that's spoken by a newbie. It's okay. Playing the new remake Square Enix did of this game is the same as the original game in terms of story? Yes. The core story hasn't really been changed. There has been dialogue refinements, but the core story is the same. We're going east. Yeah. It's like how Chrono Trigger. Chrono Trigger is not the first game to do New Game Plus. However, it did it in such a complete and satisfying way for replayability. It basically popularized not only the term, but the practice. New Game Plus has been done by other games. Way before Chrono Trigger. But Chrono Trigger will be remembered for that influence, as well as just being a solidly good RPG. It's also short when you think about it. You can actually beat all of Chrono Trigger in about 20 hours or less. It's not a very long game. Watch that guy actually be a shapeshifter enemy. All these stairs. Was this fundamentally necessary? What even is that? Oh, it's a bug. Saga Frontier Remastered has been available at Play Store. Yeah, the Saga series remaster, is it out already? I thought it was coming out. Is it already out? You dare cast Gem Missile on me? Disrespectful. The way that guy spun his flail and jumped up, it almost looked like he was helicopter lifting off with his flail. Yeah, see, like that? It's like, here I go, and he just kind of helicopters so fast that he just lifts off. Prim, come on. Alright, step one, finding our way out of this pond. See? Oh, that's how you do the spinny move. Charge attacks are such a waste of time. Alright, real fast. Is this an area where there are hidden areas that have orbs that I need to be aware of? Wait. Can't walk over the purple spikes. Can't walk over the blue spikes. Okay. That's the gimmick. Vaughn, it would be cool if Xenogears got remastered. It would be. If you pre-registered before it's available now. Ah, I was wondering, because I'm like, I would like to get a physical version of that collection, even though Saga is not my favorite series. Saga was heavily influenced by Mana. And a lot of ideas were co-developed alongside Final Fantasy. In fact, Final Fantasy II, the original Final Fantasy II, not the one that was rebranded as 4 in America, the battle design and battle system is Saga. It was made by the same guy. That's why it may seem so familiar. Okay, so that's the only place we can go. What's the catch? ignore that guy. Use the axe to cut down the coral barriers. Ah, is that what that is? Okay. I didn't think that was something we could axe down. It literally looked like a floor hazard. Thank you. See, one of the reasons why it doesn't come to mind that, oh, that's something the axe can break, is because they change what the axe can break based on the environment. And I guess on one hand, that's cool because, hey, look, the axe can break coral, it can break wood, it can break skulls. But at the same time, it's like, oops. Do we have to shut down this water, or can I go past it? No, it's one of those. Right. Boomerang orb. Good thing I don't care about that. That's a lot of coral. Is there a reason why the blue ones versus the purple ones? Are the purple ones poison or something? Or is this showing me a way through this maze? Is that supposed to be a purple chest? Or is that a switch? It's a switch. Dodie, do you play Last Remnant? I played The Last Remnant when it first came out on the Xbox 360 years ago. I played it when it first launched. And I did literally everything in that game. I 100%ed it. Including beating the boss on its ultimate difficulty, which was a nightmare in itself. It actually caused me to not like the game. Actually, the game does a lot of things I don't like. Its over-dependence on RNG is frustrating. However, like I've said before, I think The Last Remnant has among the best soundtracks for an RPG I've ever heard. If you like rock. It has one of those rocking soundtracks. It is so cool. They were all like, you're not going to cast magic on us. I wasn't going to waste magic on you anyway. We might as well have the axe up. That's frustrating, because we're not even leveling the axe. All of you guys are a waste of time. Oh, you can't get past this, can you? This entire area was bait. You can't run up here, can you? Nope. Kimono Wizard. Starshine, sorry, I was watching that video about Euphoria posted on the server. Yeah, I saw, I mean, obviously I'm streaming now, but I saw there was some discussion or mention about Euphoria. Look, I'll play anime sex games on my own time, but I'm not going to post recaps on it. Not exactly YouTube advert friendly. In fact, just posting Killer 7 got my channel flagged for unsafe content per YouTube. So now, if I'm reading it correctly, I have to make 50 more safe videos for YouTube before I'm taken off the bad boy list. So I'm very cautious about racy content, shall we say. Which isn't even that often. Most RPGs are pretty safe. Even stuff like, you know, the stuff that Persona talks about, and I'm about to die. God damn it. I wasn't realizing how much I was getting knocked around. Oops. Yeah, so here's what it is. I've posted over 300 videos on YouTube in my lifetime, none of which have come into contest versus the self-evaluation system that's currently up there. Anytime you post a video, you have to do stuff like say if it's child-friendly or not, and explain the level of either language, sexual content or adult situations, drug use, violence, gore, controversial matters, politics, things like that. You have to do that for every single video. Unless your channel is verified as being like, this is a kids-only network, therefore you have to abide by these global standards. Because my videos change in content, I don't have global standards set for it, so every video has to be set in terms of its content. Now, for the most part, perfect, flawless record. However, when Killer 7 came out, even though I posted it for violence, sexual adult situations, drugs, sensitive situations, and I put an 18 or above restriction on it, YouTube said I didn't filter it enough I didn't explain the... This is just... Oh, this thing's just one of those forever enemies. Whatever, you're not worth it. Get out of here. Get out of here. I forgot that the bird is creating infinite enemies. Okay. Kill the bird because we are never getting out of this room alive. Alright, jet missile time. I'm waiting for Popoy to stop being on fire. Thank you. Nice. Still, all these guys are XP, so this will help catch up. Anyway, so because they disagreed and that they put one, not strike, but basically, they took me off the good boy list, saying that, okay, for your past 50 reviews, you know, you've had one violation, therefore you cannot be trusted, and all of your video content now must be manually reviewed, and by manually, you know, it's just going to be a bot looking at it, before it can be fully uploaded. So that's why anything I upload takes, on average, 6 to 10 hours to actually go up, but for the time that I upload it, because it has to be reviewed by YouTube bots. And so I'm like, okay, if you're reviewing on the last 50 things, then does that mean I have to make 50 more videos that also don't conflict with your upload standards? So I'm on the bad boy list for 50 videos. That appears to be the way that they're talking. YouTube treats their creators so badly? Not really. To be honest, this standard is actually better than what it was before. YouTube does demand a lot of its creators, but it doesn't actually enforce a lot of it. They pressure you, but you don't have to capitulate to that pressure. For example, YouTube hates the fact that I don't create single content on my channel, but there's nothing they can actually do about it. YouTube doesn't punish its creators per se, except in the case when it comes to advertisers, which is how most of us get paid. But all this is better than what Twitch is currently going through, where Twitch actively does punish its creators because it doesn't have a filter process. The bots in the filter process are not fun. Let me just make that clear. They are, however, preferential to the way that Twitch handles things, which is just delete everything and have no contest. It's especially more ludicrous where if you get copyright taken down by Twitch, Twitch deletes your content. Twitch then tells you to delete your content, otherwise you get sued. Twitch then says if you want to appeal, you need to present the content. But how can you present the content when both Twitch and yourself have been encouraged to delete it? See, it gets so nonsensical the way Twitch is. Twitch's appeal process is essentially non-existent. YouTube at least has bots. It is lengthy, it is not fun, does it get abused all the time? Yes. But it is still preferential, and more often than not, you can still win. So yeah. Those bots, by the way, are what is preventing people such as Warner, Sony, and I forget who the other person is, the big three, from abusing their music stuff like what they're doing on Twitch. So the bots are actually single-handedly helping in that manner. They are absolutely the lesser of evils. Because it has been so much worse. Before, YouTube would just demonetize your entire video or take it off. They don't do that anymore. Anyone in old YouTube can testify to that. Now, have there been events like the Adpocalypse and stuff? Of course. Oh, it's Hydra again. Alright, fire time. Sorry, Fireball can't be chain cast. Oh, is it dead already? Yeah. Twitch has gone real crazy after the whole DMCA thing? No. Twitch was crazy before. They were just unshackled at that point. You see, the whole thing with Twitch, which is part of the reason why I left that platform and went back to YouTube, for streaming that is because over the past year, during the 2020 pandemic, because you can't say the C word, Twitch's numbers, because the amount of people staying home and just watching stuff, starting streaming or watching other people stream, rose, I think, like 70%. Their numbers skyrocketed, maybe 170%. Either way, it jumped to astronomical levels. So Twitch was making bank. And so because of that... Oh, that person's name is Fauna? I always wondered what their name was. And so because they suddenly had huge money, it's kind of like Epic, when Epic suddenly skyrocketed with boatloads of money because of Fortnite. And they chose to reinvest not only in themselves, but other places, which is smart. Epic is smart. Because they're reinvesting into future investments and current investment, and they're making just more money because of it. Twitch said, oh crap, we have so much money, and we have so much viewership, we can do whatever we want. And at that point, that's when you started seeing Twitch appear in the news for all the stupid reasons. Oh, we're going to censor this, we're going to stop this, we're going to create pay-to-win schemes over here, we're going to change the way affiliates work, in which case we don't give a shit if you're an affiliate unless you're a Twitch partner, GTFO, or keep streaming until we tell you to stop. We are going to do this over here, we're going to take down people over here, we're going to change our appeal process to have a non-existent process, we're going to help crack down on DMCA, because even though we have a hand in making money off of it, we're going to hide behind, oh, well, we can't actually do anything when all the big music producers want to claim stuff, so we're not actually going to support creators in any way, we're going to just stand aside and let them get just dunked on. You know, and it's just, they basically leave people to die, but they also want people to stream to their, every single day, all day, just to maybe have a chance, especially since the discoverability on Twitch is garbage. Their search is garbage. The way they sort people, they don't promote smaller channels at all. They do nothing to help you succeed, but they want to milk you for everything you've got, under the hope that someday you'll actually gain more exposure, which is not likely. That's why so many people try to game the system. But to me, I'm like, wow, F all this stuff and F all these policy changes and the attitude that's around Twitch right now. Is it still the biggest streaming platform? Yes. Does this platform have all the nice bells and whistles? Yes. Does it have a lot of feature sets that are actually really good for both the creator and the viewer? Yes. Does it have a whole lot of shenanigans and strings tied to it? Absolutely. And that's why I'm not having it. So yeah. Because they kind of didn't really mind so much. Hey, Rum, how's it going? Haven't seen you in a while. Most of Twitch's strict and heavy-handed policies were implemented when they got acquired by Amazon. You're right. But they didn't really go all in on them until Twitch exploded into a huge cash cow like it did over the past year. Amazon was like, yeah, Twitch, whatever, we don't make that much money. And then when they started making money with it this past year, that's when they started playing rough with it. Because they know when they start playing rough with it, you will drive off certain people. However, you will also still have people that are so used to that platform they don't want to change. Because once people are comfortable, it's hard to get people that are comfortable to shift position. And so they can keep doing whatever they want and they know that you're going to keep doing it or just deal with it. Because they know they are the biggest streaming platform in town, they're going to remind you of it and they're going to just have their way with you. And that's why I don't support Twitch. Can they change? Of course they can. Are they likely to? Hey, I'm not holding my breath. Ah! He's like, flashbang through the door. Twitch knows they can push around their content creators, and they do, which is why you stopped using it. Exactly, Rum. That's exactly the same thing. I saw that coming like a while, where I'm like, they're taking aggressive policies, and usually when a company takes aggressive policies on its platform this way, it's because they realize they got the fat cat syndrome, where they realize we're too big to fail. We've seen this too big to fail mentality many times. They are not the first, and they won't be the last. I have this amazing ability called pattern recognition. And so when I see a pattern play out that's been done hundreds of times, I'm like, yeah, it's going to play out like this. I'm not psychic. I could just call it because I've seen this stuff before. Like with all these people talking about the recent changes in PlayStation. It's like, I called that stuff years ago when they had the shape and management back in 2015 and 16. I was like, this is the way Sony's going to go. And I was like, you're just hating on Sony, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm not. I've seen this pattern before. And now the pattern's playing out, and it's too late to do anything about it. Everyone's like, oh my god, did you see the way that PlayStation's handling it? So yes, I did see that. I said it for years. Everyone just shit on me. But am I gonna say I told you so? Yes. But B, I'm so glad you finally come around to my way of thinking. That's why I keep telling people as consumers, you need to start fighting back and demanding things of what companies will do for you and do to you, especially if you are building a livelihood on something. First off, diversify your gaming. They're just doing the same thing they did back in 2006. That's all they're doing. But yeah, enough about that. We already had an entire stream last time talking about that current event. I'm just pointing out everyone else who's now, you know, just now arriving to the party. But yeah, anyway, back on the original thing. Yeah, so I need to get on the good boy list for YouTube again, which is going to probably require 50 videos. Will I do that eventually? Sure, but I'm not in a rush. I'm not sweating it. What it means, though, is that I'm not going to be doing recaps on more racy content, which is why going back to the original way I started at Starshine, yeah, I'm not really going to recap like an anime sex game, because that's, you know, play that on my own time, but I'm not going to recap it, because I know YouTube is not going to be pleased with that. Everyone's like, why do you keep talking about anime sex games? Because it's partly a meme, and I'm kind of joking, but at the same time, thematically, I'm not. There we go. Whew, everything has so many hit points, though. By the way, are we in the final... Are we in the final dungeon? Is this the final dungeon? Is the Mana Fortress the final dungeon? Or is there another final dungeon, like the Mana Tree itself? But I want to know what happens in Honey Pop 2. I know, right? That's why everybody plays that game, is for the puzzles and the plot. You know, research purposes. It's like, look, man, just being real, I'm not going to kink shame anybody. However, I'm not putting a recap of that content on my channel and put it at risk. Especially since, let's be for real, that's not exactly high on the recap queue. I'll recap anime sex games when I run out of so many hundreds of RPGs that I have yet to do. There's so many other stories that demand so much more of my time immediately. That's the whole reason why we have the soft lock. Until I can get rid of dead series, like Breath of Fire, Phantasy Star, Mana, like what we're doing right now, then we're never going to get forward. We're never going to grow forward. Next time when those owl people come by, I'm just going to gem missile them. They take too long to kill. And gem missile does max damage, let's be for real. This is not the final dungeon? Gotcha. One or two more? Cool, cool. But hey, one or two more. Okay, duck. Alright. This is getting really annoying. Wow, 1 damage. Oh, it's because they were reflected. That's right, they had wall on. That's right. Ugh. I get the feeling that they're not super high level than us because we're not leveling up like mad. Oh. A weird wall. Hmm. Oh, hello. Nice hidden wall. Oh, I'm actually out of... Actually, wait, why would I do that? Why would I do that when I have NP absorb? Actually, what does the Dryad do? Sleep Flower and Burst. Really? Interesting choice. Only 2 spells, too. Interesting. Nice. 26 back. That's what I'm talking about. I like the design of the walls here. Alright, so this is a dead end, or is it? Is there a secret wall somewhere here? There's no way this is just a dead end. Oh wait, how did you get past here? Oh, you can walk there. Okay. Huh. These are kind of fake out walls. That's kind of funny. Alright, let's go here first. This looks important. Oh, it's Watts. Interesting. Wait, how much money do we have? Good lord. This place is just giving us money. Alright, before we do that, because I know there's a place to go up here, let's just check this side here. Get out of here. Ignore them, ignore them, ignore them, ignore them, ignore them. Prim stuck. Let's go. Oh, okay. This really is just an empty room. Thanks. Free healing, appreciate it. Did it also heal? It didn't heal my MP, just my HP. If there's only 1 or 2 dungeons left, then I guess we are getting pretty close to the end, aren't we? What, probably 1 or 2 more sessions and then that'll be it? So we might actually finish Secret of Mana this week. Oh wait, this is a circle. Wait, we were just here. Weren't we? So that goes around in a circle. Oh boy, get over here. Ugh, oh boy, stop being on fire. Thank you. Was there another doorway we missed? Hmm. There's nowhere else to go, so we might as well go back here. This area is blocked. This can't be new because I don't remember running into a duck here. Maybe this hallway just looks like the other hallway. Yeah, this is different, I think. Yeah, because the other one had a hidden room there. This just looks like the other room. Nice. Feels good to see people leveling up. It's happening fewer and fewer times, though. I'm just gonna gem missile you real fast before you start spawning very annoying people. There we go. Chuki, main character, looks like Chrono from Chrono Trigger. Truki, that is a very astute observation. Fun fact, barrier door. This character and Chrono were actually designed at the same time. Chrono Trigger was in early development. It originally was going to be a mana game. Or was it a Saga game? No, I think it was a mana game. It was originally going to be a mana game. And so Randy and Chrono were actually at one point the same character. However, as the project started diverging and taking on different identities, obviously one became stuck with a series and the other just spawned Chrono Trigger. So, fun little trivia fact for you. I will bring that up every single time somebody brings it up. Are these squares unique for some reason? Captain Duck. How far am I on this spear? Only 71. Increases strength by 2 points. That's pretty significant. Oh, we're so close to the javelin being done. Effective against slimes and lizards. That's interesting. Freeze bar. I wonder if it actually snowmans people. Slows enemies. Interesting. Alright, so that barrier's still up. Oh wait, we're stuck here. I stepped on that panel and I guess it released the door. Interesting. You speak so fast. It's funny when people say I speak fast, because to me, I'm speaking at a normal pace. I could speak faster. Now, I understand if English isn't your first language, it may be disorienting, and I do recognize that I do speak at a faster pace than most people are comfortable with. But that being said, I don't know, call it a Yankee thing, but yeah, speaking at this pace is normal. Alright, we're gonna ignore this because those guys are annoying. Stop this. We'll never get anywhere with those guys. Some people are very rude about that. You're not being rude, Chuki. But some people are rude about that. We're like, you speak too fast. You should slow down. I'm like, I don't speak too fast. You just think too slow. There's a difference. I will say this though, I could moderate and narrate the recapitations very slowly. That's why most books on tapes are very slow, is because it's better to, it is true that when you are teaching somebody something, or you are attempting to read them something to a crowd, it is better to go slow than it is to go quote unquote fast. But, can't say that didn't get auto-translated in chat, Chuki. So whatever you just wrote, I'm afraid I do not understand. Which is a me problem. Oh, we got a color sequence puzzle here. Okay. First things first, kill that thing with Gem Missile. Next thing, absorb MP. George RB, do you know Sam and Max? I do know Sam and Max. Okay, go ahead and tell me, chat, what the sequence for these buttons are. Because I guarantee this is another one of those, just, you know, try every combination. I don't feel like that. Oh, we actually got it on our first try. Huh, how about that? Never mind. Yeah, a lot of people have an automatic filter on the world. Everyone does, myself included. And so if somebody says something and you don't understand, your inclination is that the problem isn't me. I didn't fail to understand. You failed to explain it. So the problem is you. We all just kind of project issues because when we encounter a challenge or an obstacle or a hurdle, I don't know, maybe it's just preservation of the ego, but we all just immediately blame the other side where it's like, oh, I understand things perfectly. You're just not explaining it well enough. Sometimes that's true, but it's hard to perceive that when you only have a side A, side B to this. It's not exactly you're not going to get anywhere because you're just going to be shouting past each other. Have you played any Sam & Max games? I haven't. I think I maybe started playing one, but not really. I know they're adventure games. I know they have a big sense of humor, and I know they've survived the ages on a lot of different ways. Did I just walk past that and not hit that switch? Crap, am I gonna have to walk all the way back there again? I am, aren't I? Guys, seriously stop this. God, the amount of times the AI gets stuck on a corner in this game is so annoying. Alright. So clearly we went down the wrong path. No, we hit that. Can't believe we went that entire way. Now we gotta go all the way around just to hit that switch again. Okay, now we're going to press the switch. There we go. I'm not going to waste time with any of you guys. If I can get past you guys, Jesus Christ. Alright, please. It's so funny to have relatively short dungeons while the palaces are, and then the Mana Fortress is just so long. I should probably save, though. This all seems like a boss fight area. Oh, a subway. Huh. I would not expect to have seen a subway. Because at first I was thinking, huh, this looks like a train station hub, like a little gate for a transit station. Interesting. See, now all of a sudden you got interesting game. I was gonna leave you alone, Captain Duck, but you just had to start something. Why does Captain Duck take so long to kill? Good lord. Are these enemies just respawning the moment I walk off screen? Good lord. Okay. Just trying to type something here. And there's zombies on the train. Interesting. I wonder if the suggestion here is that this train has been here for so long that all its residents are dead. But that's just a theory. A game theory. I hate game theory, by the way. I find a few things in the general speak of, oh, finally got the spear up. In the general discourse of games, a few things more worthless than game theories. To me, game theories are just glorified fan fiction that attempt to compensate for stories' either plot holes or inconsistencies. Or it's the user's attempt to self-rationalize a writing decision that the creators in no way intended. I find it's been taken to irrational extremes more often than not. Especially since the overwhelming majority, 99.9% of fan theories are all just bunk. And yet people just love to gossip about them. Alright, got that one up. Guess we'll do the garbage, hopefully this boomerang does something now. Man, Needleline, holy crap, does freaking 250 damage. Good lord. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. And these guys are also annoying as hell. Did we actually go anywhere? The background seemed to suggest we were moving, but I don't know if we actually were. All of you are annoying. Get out of here. Ugh, I just want to walk past you guys. Sam, are you telling me that the theory of San and Ness are the same person is not real? Man, did they really spout that kind of garbage? Like, I always feel like you're just reaching. But hey, you know what? Tons of people read fanfiction, so I don't put past anyone to read anything and believe it. It just annoys me because then somebody will say something like, did you know that Squall is dead? Squall is not dead. Squall was never dead. And that was not only confirmed by the writers, but Yoshinori Kitase himself who made the game. And he's like, huh, that's an interesting theory. That's not true, but if we ever make a remake, maybe we'll take a look at it. It's never been true. That is such a tired fan theory. I've hated it forever. It's so dumb. Especially since there's never been grounds for it. Because like, oh, he doesn't survive that icicle thing. Yeah, he totally effing does. It hits him in the shoulder. People act like, oh, he gets impaled to it. No, it doesn't. If you look at the overhead shot, it clearly hits him in the shoulder. He doesn't die from it. Oh, but he blanks out. Of course you blank out. You know how many times you face a boss and you win, but then the cutscene says you lose and you blank out and start up again? Oh my god. And don't you dare try applying, real-world medical physics to a game where we're shooting laser cannons at our guns and fighting the devil. Don't even give me that crap. Oh my god. There are people that still believe Final Fantasy is named because it was going to be the last game Square or Sakaguchi was going to make. It was a Hail Mary play. That was never the case. That is just a romantic urban rumor. It was named Final Fantasy because they couldn't trademark the name Fighting Fantasy internationally. It's just that plain of a reason. But people want to cling to that romantic legend. I don't mind if you like that. But please stop spreading it like it's true. Because it was never true. Cloud is Squall is lightning. Oh my god. I hope these are actual nonsense and not actual things that people have claimed. Did you know that clouds and Squall and lightning are all named after weather? And they all have spiky hair and fair skin. And they all have swords. Therefore, same person. If that's enough to convince you, Jesus Christ, I got a bridge in Washington to sell you. Anyway, this is a Scorpion army. Shut up. Super Special Deluxe Robot Type 2 with Turbo and Knuckles, featuring Dante from Devil May Cry. Kettlekin. Ah, Lucid Barrier. Alright, well. Magic it is. Alright, not too much hit points. Oh, no weakness. Alright, Gem Missile it is. We'll just do 3 for good measure. Yep. Now here's something that I actually would be okay with. Here's how Final Fantasy Remake Part 2 needs to end. If you really want to have some discussion going. So, Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 ends when they discover a sphere and Tidus materializes in front of them from a dream. And joins your party. Because ever since in Final Fantasy X Part 2, when they retconned in, because this was never the case, let's be for real. When they retconned in Shinra saying, oh, did you know that energy in the planet can be harnessed? I'm going to look into that. And then later they tie 7 and 10 directly to being continuity. I hate that retcon. I don't think that retcon's good. There are good retcons and there are bad retcons. Good retcons are like when Darth Vader said he's Luke's father. That's a retcon. That was never originally written. Just like how 7 was never originally written to be connected to 10. They just chose to do that. Because in multiple Final Fantasies, they have characters that are references and jokes to other games. Doesn't mean they're connected. Just like in 4, the After Years, they write, oh, actually, this giant mega god alien actually connects the universes of Final Fantasies 1 through 6. I hate that retcon. I think it's a stupid retcon. I think it doesn't build a universe that's interesting. Especially since they do nothing with that connection. You built a connection, good job. What are you going to do with it? But since 7 and 10 are now connected, apparently, I think it'd be hilarious if you actually have that happen now. And now everybody's going to be like, what the hell is going on? And that is exactly how you keep people coming back for Part 3. Or however many parts there are going to be. Nobody knows. So the Scorpion army just shows up and does nothing. Huh. Oh yeah, of course Dissidia. Dissidia and World of Final Fantasy are just their own universes, where, oh yeah, we've always been connected. All the protagonists from Final Fantasy all talk to each other, just like all the villains do. Dissidia is like a parallel the same way Kingdom Hearts is. Wouldn't that be crazy? You go into, like a Shinra VR fight simulator, and you fight Sora. And everyone's like, oh, that means Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy VII are connected. Because you know that's what Yoshinori Kitase is trying to do. He's trying to make everything surrounded about Final Fantasy VII. Everything has to be about Final Fantasy VII. So why not? Why not just tie it all together? So you thought that Cloud and Sephiroth were just Kingdom Hearts versions? No, that was actually them this entire time. Let's just go nuts with this. Let's just go crazy. Let's just go all in. That's a wolf that spawns other wolves. Oh, those are so annoying. And Blaze Wall, it's annoying too. At least they don't do that much damage. Oh, a storm's coming in. Thank God. Rain. We haven't had rain for a week, and the pollen around here is making my sinuses go crazy. Hey Gabe, how are you today? And I am very tired of being flame-walled. I'm just gonna leave that turtle alone. He's not bothering me. I'm not bothering him. Because you heard PlayStation. PlayStation doesn't care about small titles or indie titles. F that. Nobody has time for that. That chump change garbage. We're all about the big blockbusters, baby. Final Fantasy VII, you're in. Kingdom Hearts, you're in. So connect all the franchises. Connect them all. Everything. Fortnite is actually the best crossover in gaming history. They tie together so many multiverses. Everything is, it's the nexus point. These things are barely hitting us, and oh wow. And I'm barely getting hit. But they are still so annoying. I was saying for a while, I would like if in the remake, because, you know, they're kind of be like, oh, history can be changed, maybe Aerith won't die this time. She was prevented from dying by that plot ghost. And it just wasn't your time to die. Just like when Barrett was stabbed through it and died. I was like, that's a cool twist. I did not see that coming. But then, you know, of course they reverse it saying, oh, you just weren't meant to die at that time. They're trying to preserve the timeline. I think it would be cool if actual Sephiroth killed Aerith and not just Jenova shapeshifted to look like Sephiroth. I think that would actually be cool. Because that would actually be a different timeline. Because Sephiroth never killed Aerith. Ugh. Alright, I need a whip for this. The Heck Hound. Cute. There's no reason why I'm just not using Po-Poi to just clear the field. Let's be for real. Is that a door down there or not? Uh-oh, Stone Saber? I don't want to deal with Stone Saber. I don't want to deal with Magic Book either. Alright, so... if that's a switch, I love how it's one sprite above where you can actually hit. Actually, it's not. You can hit it. But you just can't actually hit it. Oh boy. I'm just going wherever I think I should be going. Is that not a switch? Okay, I have to hit it with a sword, I guess. Whip doesn't count. Let's go, guys. Ugh. AI, please. All right. I gotta say, some of these dungeons just feel like the world's longest hallways. Just, they're long to get through. So many things interrupt. It's just, oh my god. You can kind of only go in one direction. Was that literally just a loop? No way. What did I miss? Or wait. Maybe that new area is, it just looks like the other room. No, it is the same room, isn't it? The wolves can drop orbs. Can they really? Let's see what their weakness is. Okay, so that's annoying right there. I cast Analyze. I'm getting my analysis report. The enemy casts a skill, it deletes my analysis report and overrides the text. That is annoying. I recognize that as a technological limitation, but that's still annoying. Alright, we're just gonna gem missile things. Alright, gem missile does the job as usual. Alright, so... is this room looping on itself? I have to wonder. I don't get what the point of that area was. That doesn't even make any sense. So you're over here. It is just one big loop. So what's the point of that? What's the point of this room? Okay, I'm legitimately lost. We just enter a room that loops on itself. I don't even know where to go now. Grind orbs? I'm not grinding. Grinding is not the point of this playthrough. The point of this playthrough is to beat it, get the story, and get out. It is not to get 100% on everything, collect all the things, and all that stuff. That's not the point of this gameplay. Is there something I'm missing? Is there like a switch I'm supposed to hit that I'm not seeing? It's the purpose of the room is to grind orbs? I wonder. How come I only did 1 damage? Interesting. Julian, you don't get notified when you go live? Hate to say it, that's a YouTube thing. I can't really do anything about that. Unless there is a way to specifically send notification. But I don't believe there is. That would require me to stop and look that up. Man, fighting these wolves is annoying as hell. Jesus Christ. Alright, so there's clearly something we missed if this loop room is just there to grind. I somehow think that wasn't the intended purpose of this room. I think it's just the reason people have found to utilize it. It wouldn't be the first dead end in this room. Alright, so... all that's a waste of time. Oh, this door looks new. Alright, so there's a door that we now need to find a switch for. I don't recall passing a switch. Oh wait, hold on. We've been here before, though. Alright, let's just go back. There's got to be a switch then. A switch on this side of the room that we're missing. No, the doors are locked. So we go back to this loop room. Alright, this is the part where I don't have time to mess around and figure this out. We're just gonna pull up a guide and figure this damn thing out. And just get past it, because this is just impairing my ability to move forward. I don't give a crap about sitting here figuring out puzzles. If I want to play a puzzle game, I'll play a puzzle game on my own time. Alright, let's find a guide. Alright, first we're gonna escape road out of here, because we've hit a dead end. I need a reset. Reset. Did we ever go up here? I don't think we did. Prim, stop it. Prim, stop it. Thank you, Prim. 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 Stop it. Just follow me, Prim. Thank you. I really don't enjoy the fact that you can't run away a certain distance from characters that get stuck on walls. Popoi, stop it. This is why... This is why it's so annoying playing this game by yourself, because AI just is so dumb. They just don't know how to handle anything. And they're not even set on aggressive either. Thanks to you, we found a shortcut to the Grand Palace. Alright, well, let's just heal up. It's actually about time to close the stream anyway, which is fine. I'm just going to look up a guide on where I'm supposed to go next, because we went into that weird part, we hit a wall, we hit a loop. And I'm like, okay, it's really not clear what I'm supposed to go next. According to this, there's a series of orbs and switches. So we'll hit those next time. Looks like we were actually entering the Grand Palace. I was not aware that's where we were shifted until Gemma told me. Oh wow, I didn't realize you can actually go out here. You've heard streaming on YouTube messes with the algorithm? Wouldn't surprise me. But nobody knows what the algorithm is, so it's hard to say what does and does not mess with the algorithm. Nobody knows what the algorithm is. YouTube doesn't know what the algorithm is. At least we're almost level 50, so if anything, we got a lot of experience out of that. Hydro, print popping off. Victor, thanks for joining in chat. Hello from Sweden. Thank you for jumping in, although I'm actually about to jump off. Alright, so we'll attack the Grand Palace next time. Because clearly there's a bunch of switches that we have to hit with magic that I just wasn't seeing. So, we'll just find that out next time. So, looks like we got the Grand Palace next. When's next time? I don't know. Let's actually quickly look. If YouTube has a notification. Let's see. So apparently the notification only works for uploads, which live streaming does not apply. How about this, Julian? Apparently YouTube does allow you to be notified of any live video stream as soon as it goes live. But I don't know if that's accurate, because they're saying that if you hit the notification button while the stream is going on, you'll be notified when stream's going on. I don't know how true that actually is. Let me get something more recent. Yeah, because a lot of people here... we're getting stuff like this from 2018. That's way too low. I'll look into this. I'll see if it's something that I can do on my end, and I'll see if there's anything that users can do, because apparently this is not a clean-cut solution to a very clean-cut problem. So, I'll take a look at it. In the meanwhile, yeah. I'm getting a lot of inconsistent information. Anyway, thank you so much, everyone. I know normally we stream at night, but tonight that's not going to happen. So I appreciate everyone for jumping on the afternoon, whether you're at work or across the ocean. It's always nice to see new names, so I appreciate it. Alright. How much writing did we get done today? We got a paragraph and a half. That's not bad. Alright, so thank you so much everyone for joining. I appreciate you. I'm going to work on trying to figure out the notification thing. If not, just... I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. If I catch you next time, I catch you next time. If not, the next time I know we will do it is midday Saturday. But if we do something on Thursday or Friday, we'll just have to see. If not, I will just probably do Saturday, and we'll see. I am going to focus on the rest of this week on getting Persona out, so we may not do a third stream this week. It may just be Saturday, and just move on from there. Otherwise, until then, I'll see you all on the next Battlefield.